a crowdfunded zine, but a lot more than that. I've got some thoughts on this one. Let's share them right now. And hello everyone, it's Tom, it's FANzine Live, and we are doing a crowdfunded zines edition. This is the agency case files by a gentleman from Ireland named Colin Craker. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, Colin, please excuse me. But anyway, Colin has been on the crowdfunding bandwagon for a while. We actually have 4 books by him. The case files, the first one, which is called Declassified, then the holiday special, then one called After Image, and then one called War Wounds. War Wounds just came out very recently, but because it was the first one, I'm going to take a look at the thickest, and that being the case files, Declassified. Really nice looking stuff, and it really brings up some of the thoughts I've had about why FANzine Live is looking at crowdfunding. Ever since I got back into comics, small press comics and zines, I have noticed that the likely talent source of small press comics and zines is no longer doing the mini comics to the degree that they were back in the 80s. The mini comics are now becoming a lot less of a professional art and writing training ground, and now becoming more just a zine culture with self-expression and the like, which is fine. But then that begs the question, where did the professional aspiring artists go? And I'm of the opinion that many, perhaps most, went into the world of crowdfunding. And so I share with you the agency case files, and I share with you Colin's work. This is a very, very nice piece. And as you can tell, it's a very well-drawn piece. The books themselves are fantastic. They're, square-bound paperbacks, trade paperback quality. This is a full-size comic. Coloring is gorgeous. The paper is great. I love the matte color, or the matte cover. But then also he has a little bit of gloss on the inside, front cover, but he has this wonderful matte finish on the paper as well. Nicely laid out. This is a combination of 5 stories. I believe these were published separately. I'm not entirely up to speed on the backstory on this, but on the backstory of the title, but he's got 5 separate stories. The agency itself is a bit of a nebulous concept. It's off in the future. I believe I bought this because it was advertised as being cyberpunk. And I do love my cyberpunk. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I do find myself attracted to things that say cyberpunk. So I gave this a try, and it's really quite good. But anyway, they've got all these different characters. And this is it's become an anthology because of the 5 stories, where many of these characters get their own time in the spotlight. So I'm just going to roll through and just share with you a little of what I see. It's gorgeous looking work. The color is really something special. I always enjoy kind of looking at the artwork and trying to envision what I would be seeing if there was no coloring. And in my mind, I mean, clearly he's working digital, which is fine. I mean, that's how we work these days, mostly. Um, I've noticed that he does a lot of his shading with, looks like digital brushes, which is cool. He doesn't do a ton of shading work because he works so much into his colors. But gosh, that's almost like a watercolor type of look there on the water. Does a really good job setting the mood. I like the black outlines. Joe Ely Corrales uses that on his Impossible Girl and Wonder Kitty stuff. And I think that's really cool. But you can see this is a very simply drawn character. And then he really jazzes them up. Same with this one. He jazzes them up with the color. And so you get your shading and you get your nuance that you wouldn't have otherwise. Nice establishing shots. I like this kind of a reverse establishing shot there. Power lost on all decks. Control failed. We're adrift. And the guy says, Lord have mercy. And you back off into the boat. I mean, it's nice. He does a neat thing here, very quickly doing backstory on his agency characters. He does these little dossier panels as they show up in the book. And he gives you just enough to know what the character is and what their background is. Like this one here is Liz Anderson, field medic for the agency, 7 years of service on record. But yeah, nice looking stuff. Does some neat things here with, this is supposed to be a ghost type character. Honestly, if I had to kind of describe the agency to you, I'd almost say it's like a futuristic X-Files. You'll see ghosts, you'll see Mad Men, not in the Mad Men style. Wow, look at the use of the coloring there. I mean, a very simple character turned into something special. A lot of beautiful mood setting, though. I'm just going to speed through. So, yeah. And this is Arcadia. And so, again, you got 2 more new characters who go out into the field. This one's about going into Detroit, of all places. And apparently this Keller company and Keller, the person, has bought up most of downtown Detroit and turned it into a giant factory. And the people are not happy with him. Yeah, there's Mr. Keller. And it looks like a talker, but what it really is in this case, and notice this one doesn't have the black backgrounds like the other. This one's more of like a standard, almost a CSI type of show. You know, we've got a shooting that they're investigating. Nice explosion shot. Love the white and the impact blasting the person back. But yeah, this is really good. Now, would I say that Colin Craker is ready for prime time? As far as, you know, let's say arguably going to the big 2 to draw Spider-Man or what have you. No, not yet. He's on his way. And so this is a wonderful developmental tool, much like the old mini comics were. But you can see in this one, The Beast of Old Town, we get into this character who's a lot of fun. I believe his last name is Thorn. Yeah, Thorn. But you start seeing the cyberpunk elements, you know, the flying cars and the futuristic cities and the neon really starts coming through. Like, look at that. Blade Runner used rain. This one uses snow. It does a great job with it. And this is where he runs into, oh, look at that. Hyena attack. I love this page here. I saw this, Bruno Redondo did this in a Nightwing episode. Very cool. You've got the multiple images of the character being chased. But yeah, really cool. Gorgeous looking stuff. So if you like sci-fi, if you like police procedurals, if you like the X-Files, then this is what's called Cybermancer. And another character comes up. That's a short. And then Tales from the City. So if you like these types of stories, the storytelling is fantastic. It's really quite good. The artwork clearly drags you in. I mean, that's great looking stuff. The Agency Case Files, not bad. And then in this, because it's a collection, he's able to throw in some extra pages, and maybe it was because of the Kickstarter, I don't know. But he gives a better background on all the characters at the agency. And then he throws in some sketchbook pages, and you can see how these guys were drawn. He is a talented artist, and gosh, his vehicles look wonderful. He's close. This guy could be writing, I mean, he could be drawn pro just about any time now. And I noticed that he also has improved. So going from this, I'm going to presume this was his first outing, this Morrigan, the naval one, all the way to the end here, the Tales from the City. I think he's improved as an artist, and that's just the first issue. Now, I haven't read the other 3 yet, but we're going to just crack open War Wounds, the latest. He said this was almost like an agricultural type piece. Again, gorgeous looking books. Yeah, he's improving as an artist. Very nice stuff. So anyway, I like it a lot, and I'd like to suggest that anybody who likes this type of stuff take a look at it. Colin Craker, War Wounds. Really, it's the Agency Case Files. If you look up Agency Case Files, you'll find them on there. And I'll, of course, have stuff in the show notes. So there you go. He's got, we'll start with the beginning, Declassified, and then the Holiday Special, which had a number of folks helping him out and doing extra pieces. Then After Image, looks like an assassination plot. That'll be fun to read. And then War Wounds, the most recent. So there you go. Pretty cool. Agency Case Files. Take a look at it. And again, stuff in the show notes. I'll have all the information for you. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time.